that that office will equally deliver. No ministry, no office is established. If you look at the cabinet, no office is expressly established by this constitution apart from the Attorney General and Minister for Justice. It is the only one that is actually a constitutional entity. And so it is an entity that this parliament should ensure that it is resourced and protected so that it stands above ordinary ministries and can ensure that criminality is dealt with in this country. Look at the budgeting. If we agree that a prosecutor fighting corruption needs to be resourced, why have we not been resourcing the Attorney General? Why do we establish an entity out of the functions of the Attorney General and resource them more than the Attorney General? And even after doing that, it is still not delivering. So, Mr. Speaker, yesterday I'm told, I didn't see it, but I'm told that your predecessor, the Right Honorable Michael Quay, who spoke here on TV3, indeed recommended that this House should abolish it, that we should use a private member's bill to abolish it. Mr. Speaker, let me sound a warning that abolishing it will not let off the hook, not let off the hook those who we are considering prosecuting for violations of the law when it comes to corruption. I can assure you that abolishing the office of Special Prosecutor will not let off anybody that is found culpable or who has violated any of the laws of this Ghana when it comes to financial accountability. Zacchaeus will not be let off the hook. I can assure you. So people should not see the call for the abolition of the office of Special Prosecutor as an indication that those who are going to be held accountable will be let off the hook. Indeed, I will ensure that the process is even expedited. But I am strongly of the conviction that the office of Special Prosecutor should be abolished. Whether we are going to do it through a private member's bill, as advised by Michael Quay, or that we will call on the executive to expedite a bill that we will consider and approve to abolish it, that is for us as a House to decide. But I think that it is high time we realize that that constitutional experiment is futile. To say that because the Attorney General is appointed by the President and is a member of a political party that he will not be functional or effective in fighting corruption, the OSP, is he coming from space? Who is nominating him? The same political process is going to generate the occupant of the office of Special Prosecutor. So he will not be freed of that political pressure. If we want to be serious about fighting corruption, let's do it. Political leadership at the highest level must lead. This government has been in office for about 11 months now. Mr. Speaker, we haven't reported a single scandal. And we haven't reported a single scandal because of the political commitment to ensure accountability. And we are available. Show me any scandal and we will take the person on. Mr. Speaker, political corruption is a function of political leadership. If political leadership is determined not to be corrupt, they will not be corrupt. And when they are corrupt, they will hold each other accountable. It's not about creating fanciful institutions and giving them fanciful names. We have seen it. And big budgets with all sorts of perks. We've seen it. It's lived out and it's not working. Let's go back to what the Constitution has ordained. The money that we are giving to the Office of Special Prosecutor, let's resource the Attorney General's office. And I'm sure that this particular Attorney General will produce the kind of results that we expect of him. As it is now, there is some confusion in the system. Which corruption cases should the OSP, handle? Which one should the Attorney General handle? Which corruption cases should the YOCO investigate, and which one should the OSP investigate? When there's a corruption case and one runs and then places its hands on it, then the other is clearly, disabled from dealing with it. Even if the one that has rushed first to take it is obviously not politically committed to fighting it. So there's clear confusion. Institutions obstructing each other. Powers blocking each other. So I think that we should use this opportunity to streamline it. Let one person lead the fight against corruption as stipulated by this Constitution. And that is the Attorney General, and that is the Minister for Justice, and that is what is provided for in our Constitution. Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker.
Honourable members, this is a very important matter, but before we continue, let me acknowledge the presence of some distinguished guests, our colleagues and brothers and sisters from the Parliament of Liberia. We have 4 of them, led by Honourable Professor Thomas Romeo. The last name is Kuya. He's the head of the delegation and is the chairman of. We have the Councillor at Law, Ramses T. Kubuya. He is a rep of the Law Reform Commission of Liberia, and then the Councillor at Law, Ernestine Morgan, the representative from the National Electoral Commission. On behalf of the Parliament of Ghana, I warmly welcome you to your own country, the Republic of Ghana, and I wish you all the best. Take time not only to learn, but also to feel the pulse of the life of Ghana. I was there not long ago when you had those crises, and I'm sure my good friend, the Speaker now, is managing, even though it's a difficult situation. A lot of our members visit you almost every weekend, and some of them say that Liberia is their second home. So please, you are warmly welcome. Yes, let me listen to Honourable Abu Jinapo on this matter before I come to the Minister for Local Government.
Thank you very much, Right Honourable Speaker, for the opportunity, as you've rightly pointed out, to contribute to this very important subject. Mr. Speaker, first of all, I think it's absolutely important that we point out that the intendment and the motivation behind the Akufo-Addo government's effort and decision to create this office was a noble one. Mr. Speaker, I was Deputy Chief of Staff at the time this office was created, and I was very much involved in the deliberations and discussions leading up to the establishment of the office. And the general intent, Mr. Speaker, was really, as is captured by Hansard, was to ensure that we had a dedicated office which was focused on fighting corruption, unraveling corruption, investigating corruption, and punishing corruption. Mr. Speaker, you will agree that in some jurisdictions, particularly in the American jurisdiction, the concept of special prosecutor is very common. And then in Africa, you have South Africa. Mr. Speaker, yes, I take the point the majority there is made, and also to say that the legal question, in my view, Mr. Speaker, is not absolutely settled. Because if you look at Article 88 of our national constitution, Mr. Speaker, particularly Article 88(4), where all prosecutorial powers, criminal prosecutorial powers, are vested in the Attorney General. Mr. Speaker, today in our country, police prosecutors conduct criminal prosecutions. IOCO conduct criminal prosecutions. Yes, several institutions Smith and others conduct criminal prosecutions. And therefore, Mr. Speaker, the question which arises is whether or not the Office of the Special Prosecutor is exercising delegated prosecutorial powers. Mr. Speaker, the answer to that, I think, is still at large, and I'll leave it at that. But in any event, Mr. Speaker, it is this Parliament that enacted a law to establish the Office of Special Prosecutor. That's it. And by that, I say that I do not have today conclusive answers to the legal questions. They were deliberated upon. They may not have been grounded. They may have been grounded. But the intention and the intent of President Akufo-Addo and his government is one that I believe we should celebrate, which is that he intended to set up an office dedicated to fighting corruption. Mr. Speaker, today, the question, has the Office of Special Prosecutor 8 or 9 years down the road achieved results? Or, Mr. Speaker, do they have any significant achievements when it comes to the fight against corruption? Those are matters before this House. Those are matters before the country. Those are matters that I believe the jury is out there. Has it been a successful office? Has it not? Mr. Speaker, the question is still at large, and we all have a take on it. Secondly, Mr. Speaker, the leader of government business, the leader of this House, the majority leader, has had cause to rise up in this House to indicate that the Office of Special Prosecutor is not an office which is fit for purpose. The Speaker, he's even gone a step further. He's gone to the extent of indicating that the Office of Special Prosecutor is an unconstitutional body. It's an unconstitutional office. That's exactly the point the majority leader is making. That the existence of the Office of Special Prosecutor is at variance with the provisions of our national constitution. The Speaker, 1 year down the road, they build an office. They have a super majority. What are they telling us? What are they telling us? The Speaker, this country, with the greatest respect, is sick and tired of talk. Talk. The leader of government business is not just the majority leader. He's a leader of government business. He's a leader of this House. He sits in cabinet. The Speaker, he has indicated that when the bill was tabled before this House, he as member of Parliament, member of the 8th Parliament, the Speaker, he said he opposed the establishment of the Office of Special Prosecutor. And he indicates that his party, the NDC, opposed the establishment of the Office of Special Prosecutor. I have just indicated the policy rationale or the policy motivation for the establishment of that office by the Akufo-Addo government. So, Speaker, you yourself, you've indicated that you were also opposed to it. So, Speaker, today, the political party that opposed the establishment of the office, the member of that political party who opposed it in the 8th Parliament, today majority leader, leader of government business, in the wisdom of the Ghanaian people, they have given them a super majority. Super majority. They have majority in this House. They have a super majority. Why? What's happening? What's happening in our country, Mr. Speaker? You just made that point about allocation. And you made a point about reset and the fact that we may struggle with the reset. Too much talking. The country needs action. If you believe the Office of Special Prosecutor is not fit for purpose, you have the majority, you call us micro-minority, we are mighty minority indeed. Repeal it! What are you waiting for? 1 year down the road, we are still being given sermons and being given lectures and being told that this office is unconstitutional. Mr. Speaker, because, with the greatest of respect, one of their own was touched. Because one of their own was touched. And Mr. Speaker, you just made that point not too long ago, that we should be careful when we enact laws and when we apply the laws. Mr. Speaker, because when you're on the right-hand side of the speaker, and certain actions are being taken, Mr. Speaker, many a times we just tend to think that it will not affect us. Mr. Speaker, needless to point out that the history is here. The history is there for us to appreciate that the law on causing financial loss to the state, Mr. Speaker, is only caught up with people or persons from the side which passed the law, which is why the point the Speaker made is a very important point. The law, when it's respected and when it's applied fairly, works for all of us, regardless of where you find yourself. Of course, lawyer Martin Kpebu is somebody I know very well. And indeed, yesterday, Mr. Speaker, when I heard the news that he had been arrested by the Office of Special Prosecutor, I even attempted to reach out to him. But it should never be the case, Mr. Speaker, that when Wontumi is arrested and put behind bars and told to bring bail conditions of 100 million Ghana cedis, and he stays in prison for 1 month, 2 months, Mr. Speaker, when we all know too well that basic teaching of law, criminal law, tells you that bail should never be used as a form or a means of punishment. That one, it is okay. Mr. Speaker, when Osesibi is still in custody today because he's been subjected to onerous and reasonable bail conditions which he cannot meet, Mr. Speaker, he's been told to satisfy a bail condition of 650 million Ghana cedis. Mr. Speaker, that one is fine. When bail should not be used as a tool of punishment. We didn't hear the majority leader. Mr. Speaker, when several other people look, Mr. Speaker, we have seen it in this country several times. Government changes, and then some of these measures are put in place. Political opponents are put behind bars. When Paul Adumochi was arrested by the OSP, the Office of Special Prosecutor, because allegedly Paul Adumochi had been critical of the office, when he was arrested and put behind bars, Mr. Speaker, and some of us raised our voices, the majority leader's voice and the majority side was mute. Because today, it is lawyer Martin Kpebu. Mr. Speaker, when the law is applied unfairly against Wontumi, it is bad. When it's applied unfairly against Osesibi, it is bad. When it's applied against Paul Adumochi, it is bad. When it is applied against Martin Kpebu, Mr. Speaker, it is indeed bad. We make laws and make good laws to the best of our ability for all of us, and we respect the law for all of us. Mr. Speaker, I want to conclude by indicating that what happened yesterday is a wake-up call to all of us. That when the law is applied unfairly against a citizen, it doesn't matter whether he's from the north or the south. Mr. Speaker, it doesn't matter whether he's an NDC member or an MPP member. Let us insist, that is our only safeguard, that if the Honorable Mahama Yarga is suspected to have committed an offense, he should be taken through proper due process. His rights should be respected. If it is Abu Jinapo, I should be taken through due process. My rights should be respected. Mr. Speaker, that is the only way we can build a civilized, prosperous nation. That's the only way. It should not be the case that the Office of Special Prosecutor suddenly should be scrapped because Martin Kpebu is being taken through a raw deal. No. And I conclude, Mr. Speaker, with this quote. By Martin Nyola. And I quote, Mr. Speaker, he said of Nazi Germany, first they came for the socialists, and I did not speak out. They came for the unionists, and I did not speak out. They came for the Jews, and I did not speak out. And when they came for me, there was no one to speak out for me. Mr. Speaker, I end the quote. I thank the majority leader for the sentiments he's expressed. And Mr. Speaker, I thank you too for the opportunity you've given. And I thank you also for the sentiments you've expressed. Mr. Speaker, today, the 4th of December, the super majority join us, we, the advocates of rule of law, the bastions of rule of law, the originators of rule of law, the promoters of rule of law, the doyens of rule of law. Shake off your revolutionary tendencies a bit. Shake it off and join us, Mr. Speaker, to let the rule of law prevail. When it prevails, It prevails for Honorable Mahama Yarga. It prevails for Abu Jinapo. It prevails for all of us, all the people of Ghana. I thank you very much, Mr. Speaker.
Honorable members, please. I don't think there's moral authority in this House to pontificate on this matter. Please, let's all start afresh. Let's all start afresh. I'm surprised you are not Honorable Samuel Abu Jinapo. I was expecting you to quote traditional wisdom, not from Germany. Because we have it here too. In our traditional norms and wise saying, we use 3 kettle. You are aware that used to fight the lion. And the lion was able to go in between them and said, it's the red cow. It's telling you the black cow. That is because of its strength that they overpower the lion. You know about that. You are not quoting that. You are quoting Germany because of the formal education. That has changed all of you from being Ghanaian. You are talking about the rule of law. It started long before colonial rule. And you are quoting later day saints. That's the challenge we have. But I don't want any family dissing here. So I'll give it to the minister. I'll give it to the minister. That is why I say family. I don't want that fatherly respect here. I'll allow the Minister for Local Government. We just finished listening to Honorable Samuel Abu Jinapo.
Thank you very much.
Please.
Right, Honorable Speaker. Right, Honorable Speaker, before I proceed to make some few comments, let me thank the Honorable Mahama Yarga, the Majority Leader of this House, for his consistent and principled position. Honorable Speaker, I'm saying this because not only him, and I believe my brother Abu Jinapo is young in this House and was not here when we were passing the Special Prosecutor's Law. He was not a member of Parliament, and that was in the 7th Parliament. At that time, he was the Deputy Chief of Staff. So he was not present to listen to the critical issues and the superior argument that was made by the then 106 minority member in this House. Right, Honorable Speaker, your good self, the Honorable Haruna Idrisu, who was the then minority leader, the Honorable Mahama Yarga, who was the then chairman of the Subsidiary Committee of this House, before he became the chairman of the Constitutional and Legal Committee, ranking. Right, Honorable Speaker, your good self, we made extensive, superior debate that you did not need the Special Prosecutor before you can fight corruption. And right, Honorable Speaker, the records are there between we and them, and the modus operandi are there. In 2016, when Ghana achieved 48 out of 100, we didn't have Special Prosecutor. It was by President Mahama. In 2014, when Ghana achieved 47, we didn't have a Special Prosecutor. It was under President Mahama in fighting corruption. The Transparency International Corruption Perception Index records are clear, and the difference between we and you is clear. Without a Special Prosecutor, right, Honorable Speaker, your good self, in 2017, when we were 106 and they were 169, the supermajority did not begin today. They were 169. The distinguished emeritus Professor Makokwe, seated in this chair, he supervised it. And I know, if for nothing at all, speakers of parliament are independent. Even to unseat them, you need 3/4. It's the most difficult thing to do. So nobody tied his hands. He had 169 members. We were here. We raised every argument. You even started for independent prosecutor before you were whitewashing it, before you arrived at the special prosecutor. The Hansard is there to bail us out. We said everything. We said everything. Oh. Right on. You see? Right, Honorable Speaker. You see? Clearly. Oh. I've said that the difference in fighting corruption between we and you is clear. And right, Honorable Speaker, you remember, you said it, that the special prosecutor and a second deputy speaker then, Mr. Speaker, your good self, you made a superior argument there, here, that the special prosecutor was not coming to serve any good purpose. I still remember. The Honorable Muhammad Yariga made similar argument. We were perceived as if we did not want the special prosecutor and we did not want to fight corruption. We said, do it and let us see. How many of your colleagues are there? Let's put that one aside. Mr. Speaker, even your presence in the chair and your opening of parliament to fight corruption alone was able to help fight corruption more than even the special prosecutor. If parliament would do its work well, when they had the 169, we were just here. Every law that came, every opposition we staged, they would tell you, put the question. They had the numbers. That is what you did. But Mr. Speaker, under your leadership, this good parliament in the 8th parliament, you reduce parliament to fighting corruption and making sure that the few eroded democratic dividend that was eroding, you restored it. And that is how this parliament became the most open parliament in Africa. Was that by the special prosecutor? No. So, Mr. Speaker, we were just here. Is Professor Okwe telling us today that when we were passing the special prosecutor law, he didn't know what we were doing? He knew. So yesterday, I also listened to him when he was saying that we did not need that one, that he opened a private member's bill. So we could come by private member's bill to trash it up. Mr. Speaker, I would even go for that. But before I get there, President Mahama will not come and say that he's bringing a law to take special prosecutor away. You have just started saying that we don't want to fight it. This House, the Speaker, can come with a private member's bill and trash it out. That is the window open to all of us. But Mr. Speaker, from January to date, using Parliament and getting a strong political will from His Excellency the President, how many political scandals have you gotten? Zero. How many corruption cases have we received? How many corruption scandals have we seen under President Mahama from January to date? You don't need special prosecutor to fight corruption. All you need is to get an open speaker seated in this chair, opening parliament to investigate every case. Mr. Speaker, that's what you stood for. And that's why we are achieving this. Mr. Speaker, I'm a cabinet minister. President Mahama has told all the cabinet ministers, and including all his ministers, like, look, as for me, I'm here. Anybody who go and commit any scandal I'll fire you. That alone has put a scare on all of us. Everybody is ruling with diligence. Everybody is ruling with critical, ethical governance principle. And he himself, the Speaker, he himself, he said, the Speaker, he himself, he's always concerned about the future and this country. So, Mr. Speaker, we don't need a special prosecutor. When Mahama Yariga criticized the establishment of that office, he was the first victim. You don't have to personalize that office. Using state office to chase your critics. Mahama Yariga criticized the establishment of Special Prosecutor's office, and he was the first victim there. He took in for buying ambulance for his place. He was taken for so many times before a successor Special Prosecutor came and said there was no, that it was not a case, merit of casing, and he won it. That's because, so why did you put him through all those ordeals when he don't do anything wrong? Because he criticized the establishment of that office. The same way, lawyer Martin Kwebu also criticized the current one, and he's running after him with the whole Special Prosecutor's office. Mr. Speaker, even as I stand here, talking now, Mr. Speaker, is it that we cannot criticize state offices? And should we use state offices to pursue our political or our personal opponents who criticizes us? Mr. Speaker, how many times have you been criticized? Even the longest serving legislator in this country. But you open up. With your experience, Mr. Speaker, Parliament can help fight corruption. Parliamentary committees, Mr. Speaker, local government committees sit in open, public accounts sit in the open, most parliament committees sit in the open. That alone can help fight corruption. What you need is having a strong ethical leader like President Mahama. With strong corruption fight records, endorsed by the Transparency International as the most fighter of corruption in Ghana than any president. And Mr. Speaker, with Africa endorsing you as the most open parliament and the most open speaker, even with 188 or 89 MPs, with super majority, what can you use these numbers for? But you are still protecting divergent views and the consent of the minority to safeguard democracy. Mr. Speaker, Ghana is blessed in having you. Mr. Speaker, we are blessed in having you. And with you in the chair, I was always worried, seated here, when Parliament was only interested in passing laws. Mr. Speaker, you changed the jails. You have changed everything. Parliament was just passing laws. And even in passing the laws, some could go to the Supreme Court and could be trashed. And today the Speaker himself is saying that some of the laws are not even needful. Then what were we doing when you had 169? What were we doing? Mr. Speaker, I can foresee if this 189 was Amazon regime, miracles would have happened. But thank God it is you. And it is President Mahama in the chair. On that note, my brother Abu Napo is not there. On that note, Mr. Speaker, with the Special Prosecutor, the highest mark of President Akufo-Addo in fighting corruption was 43/100. Corruption perception index is 43/100. Mr. Speaker, you go to 40, 43, 40, 43, 40, 43. He couldn't pass 43. Mr. Speaker, the worst performance of President Mahama in fighting corruption was 43. The highest was 48. The medium was 47. Our worst performance in fighting corruption was your highest mark. Between we and you. The records are clear. That is the records. What you could say was that, oh, we have given this budget to the special prosecutor. We have given this budget to the Attorney General. We have given this budget. We've given more money to the corruption fighting institutions. And what was your record? What was your record? So, Mr. Speaker, on that note, I go by the proposal for the scrapping of the Special Prosecutor's office and resourcing the Attorney General and Minister for Justice office. That is what we use and have the highest mark in fighting corruption. You don't create bureaucracies and think that you are fighting corruption. You don't create bureaucracies and think you are fighting corruption. Mr. Speaker, on that note, my colleagues on the other side, I have now seen clearly that in the corruption debate, in fighting corruption, we are far better than them. Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for the opportunity.
Honourable members, I think the message from the House is clear, and we are happy that we have senior members outside the House, former speakers, supporting this message. And so we'll proceed not to direct you, but to urge you on to do what is proper. If we all agree that it is serving no purpose, we know what to do as a House. And so we'll do that. Secondly, I'm grateful to the House, very grateful to the House, because a delegation which is being led by His Excellency to a conference in Qatar is called upon to sponsor a motion for the whole world to take a position on fighting corruption. His Excellency will be there before we get there. And after him, I may be leading the delegation at the conference. And we want to put this position of Ghana across to the whole world as to the best way to fight corruption. And so I'm happy that the House is giving us this signal. And I'll call upon my delegation to take copies of the Hansard as we move along to the conference next week. And so we are grateful to you, and we'll carry this message along. And this time around, the Constitutional Reforms Committee, led by Professor Prempeh, will do the proper thing to make sure that we capture all these concerns and we get a better constitution, a more improved constitution than what we have implemented so far. The Constitution 1992 has done well. It has stabilized our democracy. It has taken us this far, but there is an urgent need to sharpen some of the tools, to restructure it for us to deliver what we all want. And so I thank you, and please, we have some very serious business to transact. I'm prepared to be here for some time. Minority Chief, I'm sorry, I want to curtail the discussion on this matter because I've given enough space to both sides to articulate their views. And since there's consensus on it, I don't want us to go back to it again. Yes, please.
I don't intend to take you back. I recall when we met at conclave, the leader of the House had nudged us that is a subject matter he wanted to raise, I think under Order 93. And in his absence, the same matter was raised by, and so because of your earlier direction, I don't intend to defy you at all. The Chief Whip, the House will bear me out, raised same matter back and forth. There was a bit of an argument. I thought that we should do a proper thing. From where I said, it appears to me that it's just on the spur of the moment argument. If we could prepare
and do a proper argument to this matter. Otherwise, it appears that we are rushing the matter. Speaker, it is not with any disrespect to you. So probably we should engage more and come properly and have a proper debate on this subject matter. Then we can deal with it properly. That's all, Speaker, I felt I should say. I'm sorry.
Thank you so much. We just need direction, and that is the direction I was giving. So what you're talking about, the need for preparation, will definitely be done so that we have enough legal basis and moral authority to refine the existing legislation and even the practice and procedures of the House. So we did talk about all that. We will not just on the spur of the moment do a knee-jerk reaction, and mess up the situation. So please, let's continue with the business. We got to item 27. That was adopted. Now we're moving to, in fact, we even adopted item 28. We're now moving to item 29, where my attention was drawn that there are some other businesses they wanted to look at. So yes, Majority Chief.
Item number 29, we want to pray you to move to other paper addendum so we can take motion.